was upside down and shaking all around. There seemed no end inside. I thought I was losing. I remember what you say. You've got a place for me. Protection from the storm. It's you I'm choosing. You've got a love so pure. It pulls me in for sure. It's all consuming. Your gentle lovingness washes away my mess. It proves you truly love the real me. Behold the beauty of the Lord. Oh, it washes me whiter than snow. Oh, this I know for sure. Your love, it makes me pure. Come wash over me and make me clean. Behold the beauty of the Lord. When I wanna run away, you gently reach for me. You set me up so high, I have no worries. You did not hide your face, did not turn me away.
I came from the mud. There's dirt on my hands. Strong like a tree. There's roots where I stand. Oh, I've been running from the law. Try to catch me howling at the moon.
Good evening, everyone. Welcome to Recovery Unplugged Live. What's up, Amy Leigh McCorkle, fresh out of the International Christian Film Festival in Florida?
In Orlando,
Florida.
With, as Annabelle has coined us, the dream team with her and Lorraine, and we went there and didn't win, but we came, we saw. It was just like a continuation of Branson, except a little more low key.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely got it. The interest of several producers and including a producer who doesn't remember me, but told me I would never get my film made. And so he was ignoring me at the meet and greet party. So I approached the executive producer, and now she has the pitch deck for Letters to Daniel, the TV series.
Take that, producer guy.
But I won't say who. I'm not stupid.
Not yet.
What else? Let's see. I met an actor who told me some very disturbing things about Hollywood, but we had a good conversation about mental health and about mental illness and how he does it. Now, obviously, he's terrified of stigma. That's the feeling I got,
mm-hmm.
because he doesn't want to be labeled. He doesn't want to have a label. And some people, and that's okay. Everybody's recovery journey is their own. And it was just a really interesting conversation. And I got his, he really likes what I'm doing with Recovery Unplugged and Letters to Daniel. And then we talked to a woman who came up to me after the screening of Recovery Unplugged. Fortunately, people were into Dell's sense of humor.
Nice.
and there were tears whenever Stephanie was singing and telling her story. And the woman came up to me afterwards and said, I want I hear something on delay. Okay. and she came up to me and gave me her card. She goes, I have a network. This show would be perfect for it. But I think, and when I talked to her, she wanted me to do a whole channel of mental health content. But, you know, it costs money. I said, Missy, guess what? Someone offered me my own mental health channel. She goes, okay, now how much does it cost? And Annabelle in the background went, that's a very good question. And then I talked, but it does cost. And I found out from a very like Isaac, who is the executive producer on The Guardian Sacrifice. He said it's a lot of money for me. So, and it's not really my dream to be a network. It's my dream to create the content that goes on the network. And then when I was at the meet and greet party, a second network came up to me and said, I want your talk show on my network. So that was, you know, I don't know where it's going to go. If it's going to go anywhere, but it's flattering. There was a producer who seemed very keen on Letters to Daniel and all my work, and his name is David Tenney, and he wrote a book, and then he made a movie that was really big, faith-based movie. One Night with the King, and that's what it was called. And he was really sweet, and he asked for all my work, so I sent it to him. And I can't remember anything else. So, you know, there were people who people who wanted to be on the show.
That's good.
So, yeah, so that was interesting.
What did the one person say about Hollywood? Can you clean it up a little bit?
That at a certain level of wealth, they tap into some really illegal and unsavory desires.
Gotcha. That's a common thing that you hear about Hollywood elites.
But they said it's only at a certain
level is when it starts to get
so.
Gotcha. All right. Well, it sounds like it was a good run.
It was, and then Annabelle did, like, you saw us there. We're
schmoozing and networking and having a good time. I saw chicken and waffles. That pissed me off.
that was at the diner. Oh gosh, Demetrius, the chicken and waffles there, they were gigantic, and they were so good.
I was very jealous.
Eat all of it.
Well, we have Demetrius Witherspoon here. He is a filmmaker. He's the creator of the Submerge universe. Amy, how did you find this young man?
This young man I met in 2000, I believe, 17 at the Imaginarium. And he was going to leave, right? He was going to go get something to eat. And I said, look, you don't even have, he goes, I didn't pay for the banquet or the buffet. I said, don't worry, it's not worth it. But not the food. I'm talking about the food. I'm not talking about the awards ceremony. Okay, but actually that year, I think it wasn't too bad. It was like spaghetti and an Alfredo or something. But I said, Demetrius, you had a film here. You just go for the entertainment. Go to the award ceremony. From what I've been hearing, they absolutely adore you. Now, so we go, and I didn't eat because I just didn't have the money for it. So I sat in the free seats, and he proceeded to win Best Director. I think isn't that what you won? Best Director for Submerge Echo 50?
51. Yeah.
51. Okay. Yeah. And he proceeded to win, and I had to talk him into staying.
Are you glad you stayed?
Yeah, I'm glad I stayed. I for the longest time, if I won an award, yeah, that's fine. But other than that, I'm there to network with different filmmakers and everybody else. So, just fortunately, dinner dates canceled, and I was about to walk out that door, and I seen Amy sitting in that comforter chair with my friends. And yeah, she's like, "You might want to stay." I was like, "Ah." I was like, "Okay."
The reason is because not only does that festival kind of their wheelhouse is fantasy and science fiction and horror, but his film was really good. So I was like, I can't say definitely because I wasn't a judge on the panel, but you just might get something, and he did.
Nice.
Yeah, it was a good night, and shout out to Imaginarium for having me there, and so it's always a good time when I'm able to go there and be a spotlight guest. So
Are you gonna be in person, or are you a virtual guest this year?
I'm going to be in person there all 3 days this year. I think that's July 9th through the 11th.
Yes, it is.
Going to be doing some panels. So testing waters. So I'll be masked up, even though I got my shot. But, I look forward to seeing everybody.
Yeah. I look forward to seeing the friends. Now the nice thing is they're going to screen the films from 2019 or 2020 because of COVID. That was part of their, there were so many glitches with the online screening for mine. I'm just grateful that maybe people who are local who want to see it are going to get a chance to see it.
Are they screening the film?
Yes. So if you want to, but you're coming to AOF. You're coming.
Yes.
You're coming to the big time.
Yes.
Oh, and there's a lot going on that Dell is like swamped, and that's the only reason why you haven't heard from him.
Okay. I just need to hear from his he said there was a contact who he was going to send my way.
Okay. And what else can we talk about?
Well, nothing for me.
Okay.
I'm going to duck out, and you're going to interview Demetrius.
Okay, that sounds like a plan.
All right,
everyone.
So tonight, as you see, we have Demetrius Witherspoon, the creator of the Submerge universe. So, why don't we kind of talked about it a little bit, but let's talk. How did you come to know me and the Imaginarium family?
Well, first of all, I want to thank you for having me on the show. It's always a pleasure speaking with you and being interviewed with you. The other thing is I've been going to the Imaginarium since, I think it was 2017. No, maybe 2016 could be. So one of my writers for one of my novels that's based off my screenplay, Submerge Echo 51, John F. Allen, he wrote a novel based off of my script, really expanding the universe or the story of Submerge in that. And so he talked about his publisher and John and them, and so said, "Hey, you should go to Imaginarium." And so I was like, "Okay, I'll do that," because I do all the different film festivals and cons here in Indianapolis, Indiana. So, Gen Con and all that. So I was like, I need to go a little bit further. And so that was one of the places that I went to. And so I've been going ever since then.
Well, I know you've got a career going. Excuse me. Sorry, I've got allergies. And my goodness, I'm like, great. I'm getting a coughing jag on live broadcast. So I highly recommend you look into AOF. I know it costs a little more, but they're still accepting submissions, and they accept novels, they accept scripts, they accept artwork, they accept films, scripts, photography, and they have a submission platform, NoRiskFeedFest.com, that lets you enter for nothing, and you don't pay anything unless you get accepted. Like you're an official selection. That's the only time you'll have to pay.
Okay. Well, most definitely look into that after we get off here.
Yeah. I always have to do a plug for them because, well, they did a lot for me.
You're right.
They changed my life. They changed my life. So, okay. So, I think, I think a lot of people like to have you around because you have such a nice attitude and you're so positive. And I know you and me were talking about how, like, you're speaking and you do all the Indiana stuff. And I know I started by doing all the Kentucky stuff, and then I started doing Ohio, and then I did a Florida. I just decided, there comes a time where I like the way Steve Harvey talks about it. Started doing Ohio, jump. You gotta jump at some point. Florida, why don't you describe how you wrote your first Submerge story and then began not just to write more Submerge stories in a film format, but how you expanded your universe into comics and to different merchandise and things like that. Because I've got one of your glasses.
Okay. Yeah. Well, I started in doing R&B singing. And so I had a band and everything. Wow. And so I wanted to do some music videos. And I always liked movies and things like that. And, trying to get into doing video work. And so I borrowed some money from my brother, rented a camera, and I shot 3 music videos. It was just me and my daughters and a couple of friends. And people really seen what I did, and the feedback was really good. And I was like, you know what? This is what I want to do for the rest. I didn't look back, singing and things like that. This is what I wanted to do, to be a filmmaker and director. And so as soon as we got done with that, the young lady that she was an artist and she was featured in the music videos. I asked her, I said, hey, I want to make a sci-fi action movie. You up for that? And she's like, yeah. And so I started, since I like Star Wars and Star Trek and Stargate, I started to create this story. Just the first thought was this woman pregnant running down an alley, and all I could see is like Men in Black kind of like guys running after her. That's all that was in my mind. And then I just started writing from there. And again, I didn't get any training or anything. I just watched YouTube on how to use the camera, what kind of angles to use, and then just going out there and do it. And I just got in touch with people that I knew, and then kind of reached out on Facebook to, like, I don't know, I looked at modeling pages. I didn't even look for actors. I didn't know there was groups of actors. And just grabbed a few people that I knew, and it was probably about, I don't know, probably 8 to 10 of us, and we shot the first Submerge, the Chronicles of Nairi. So it's about a young lady that's pregnant, and she gets thrown into a multi-universe, and she has to find her way out and find her child. And so that's the way I started it. it was just going to be one film, because
it's always gonna just be one film. Like, but it bites you, don't it? The bug bites you.
It does. Plus, you know, I coming from doing music, I already knew, you know, because you apply a lot of things when you're dealing with bands, and you know, it's all an art form, so it kind of carries over with doing films. And you know, that the show must go on no matter what's going on. So
yeah,
you know, and people,
and I like the way I like to put it is, really, you can look. I was highly prepared, but I had 7 actors on my shoot, no call, no show on the day of the filming. And the magic is what you make of those mistakes. When you're called on, right? And obviously you're doing something right. I want to talk about how your learning process went. I love your movies. I love the Submerge universe. I love the way you have built something for yourself. So I want to say, what is your ultimate goal with the Submerge universe, or even just with your career?
For me to make something that is lasting, I enjoy the process. If I could sell some of it to even go a little bit bigger, that would be fine. But my ultimate goal is just to get to making this one series that I have written, which is the Galaxy of Subversion, which really kind of brings this whole storyline or arc storyline together. But I have 5 films so far. I have animated pilot, and so that's where I'm trying to get to that the series, which we're still looking at maybe making it a feature film, but a 6-part series, the Galaxy of Subversion.
So are they about 30 minutes a piece? Like,
yeah, they would be about.
Okay, yeah. Well, you do have some proof of concept stuff, and I'm sure you know someone who can make you a wicked pitch deck. I mean, I would. I know he won't come here, but Joshua Carpenter is the person who said yes to all my stuff, and he really dug the dystopian stuff, so I think he might dig the sci-fi stuff too. So he's on Green Apple, so take a look at that site, Green Apple Entertainment.
Okay.
And explore it. I can't promise you anything, but you know, what does it hurt to ask?
Right. It doesn't hurt to ask. So that's where I'm headed, but I'm enjoying the process of it. And you know, things are always changing, especially with streaming and things like that. So there's different opportunities that come up, and just like our animated film, that was something that was artists had started, and I really liked where she was kind of headed as my first animated film based off of my characters. So
wow.
Produced that, and got my first speaking role on that.
You became an actor, a voice actor.
Yeah. And so now it's running in an international festival over in India, and it just made finalists in that. So
way to go!
So I'm overall happy, but I'm happy for that artist also.
Yes, it's like the other people. Yeah, when other people who are on your project or do something like so when on Letters to Daniel, when my actresses are nominated, when they win, my editor has won, when my composer won, I was thrilled. Now that my I didn't say this at the top. I should have. Stephanie Ray is nominated. That she's the one who sings "Here with Me." And if you haven't heard that song, go on Spotify, type in Stephanie Ray, "Here with Me." That song was written specifically for Letters to Daniel at the end, and it plays at the end. Oh. And she's nominated at Hollywood Dreams, which is a part of the AOF MegaFest. They're still accepting submissions. There's still wiggle room, but she's been nominated for, they haven't posted the official nomination list yet. And my composer was nominated. So when you see people around your project, I totally get what you're saying. It's that you're so happy for them. It's not just for you, but you're happy for them too.
Yeah. Because it's when you're able to give back like that, or as you're moving up, you're bringing them with you. That's. There's nothing else like that feeling, because, it's hard being a creative artist and things like that. And so when I try to move, I'm giving other people a platform to shine also with whatever I do. So I think of it like that. So, but with the process of the films, I've made 5 of them. And then in 2019 or 18, end of 18, I started making comic books, which were based off of my characters. This is one of them, 51X. And this is in comic book stores here in Indianapolis, and it's on Comixology and IndiePlanet.com. Comixology is owned by Amazon, so it's on Amazon. And then we have the novels. We have a card game based off of the movie Submerge. And we have action figures and things like that are based.
Yeah. Okay, I'm gonna. Do you got your Funko Pops close? I know you have some of those.
Yeah. Yeah, I think I do.
Well, I'm going to kind of pivot the conversation towards mental health. See, look at that, people. His movie has its series has its own Funko Pops. Woo! Where can they get those?
They're on our website, D like in David, V like in Victor, Entertainment Pictures with an S, .com. So dventertainmentpictures.com. You can order there. Okay, so I'm going to pivot the conversation a little bit.
When it comes to mental health, it affects different. I know for me, it would be even though it was hard for me to get a diagnosis. If you saw the movie, I went to a doctor 3 different times before I got diagnosed. But I still know it's easier for people to believe me than someone and men don't talk about their mental health as much either. Have you ever been directly or indirectly affected by mental illness, either by struggling with maybe depression or anxiety, or maybe a caregiver for somebody else who is suffering from one of these illnesses?
Me personally, of course, I'm human. So depression is something that sometimes you're affected by, but I'm thankful for my family that helps me get through that. And also just knowing, I was just looking at a scripture, Matthew 6:34, talking about your anxieties of the day, just take it day by day, because the next day is going to have his own problems. And so keeping those things in mind, that helps me with that. And, being able to talk to
being it. So talk therapy, like not necessarily like counselor, but like just talk therapy in the idea that expressing what you're going through and kind of trying to figure out where you're at and stuff like that.
Right. With somebody that you trust, that you're able to express, what's going on, what you're truly feeling, and that could be, my wife or a close friend. So that kind of helped. Now, the other thing is I had an uncle. He just passed last year. Now, he was a schizophrenic. And
Wow.
Ever since I was little, that's something that he was dealing with since he was 18. So that was in our family. And I was kind of close to him when I was younger. But as he got older, we wasn't, I moved here to Indianapolis. So, being able to see and being able to help when I can, I understand that process and what families go through when someone is dealing with that in your family. But yeah, he passed in 2020. Yeah.
I'm sorry, honey.
Mm-hmm.
I know for everybody's recovery journey and is different. And the way I heard it put best is what works for one person. The thing about mental illness is there's no panacea. There's no magic bullet. It's like all these different things put together. Like it's not just faith, but like if you're like me and have bipolar disorder, you definitely need mood stabilizers. For me, my anxiety is so severe at times. I do need an anti-anxiety medication, but I also was taught meditation techniques and how to center yourself. And then there's my faith, and and then I have that support network. Like you say, I have Missy and my mom and my dad, and they, and having them around to help. When you're working on a project, have you ever had the experience of someone being on your set, being in some kind of mental distress or emotional distress and how did you handle it? How would you suggest others handle that situation on their set? And you don't have to give names.
Yeah, I wouldn't do that. I mean, nothing outstanding I can think of. For one thing, you kind of pull the person to the side and kind of see what's going on, and if it's something where they can't really get it together, if they need time off to make sure they're okay, then I make that happen. We're a team.
Yeah.
So, that we'll fill that void, somebody, well, I mean, the only thing I could think of, one person was losing their dog. And this is a person that was working, on a lot of the makeup and things like that for us. So that I knew that was stressful for her, dealing with that, and then on the job dealing with what we were doing. So fortunately, I had other makeup artists on set, and so I made the call to make sure that she was okay. That hey, take some time. We got this. And so that worked out, and she was able to come back once everything settled. She offered to come back, and so we were able to finish the shoot with her.
Well, that's good. I think for me, because it's amazing on Letters to Daniel. every, oh, you froze. Are you there? Okay, because it said internet. Okay, just making sure. So for me, I had to have someone there to deal with me. So like that was Missy's job. She was like, if I was starting to lose my shit, for lack of a better term, you know, but I was able to be communicative and collaborative with everybody, but Missy probably carried the heaviest load because she was dealing with me, and she was also putting out she was the person who put out fires on the set so I could focus on the directing of the film. So but everybody, I had one young woman walk up to me and say, you know, this helped me work through a lot of stuff, and it was very cathartic, and you gave me a chance at my dream. And then you know, there was just different levels. You know, we had the set photographer whose brother had overdosed, and the way he found out was the same way I found out about Missy's dad dying. It was somebody banging on the door saying, hey, wake up, such and such has happened. So we had to like Missy was like set mom. She had wore many hats on the thing. So she was like the therapist, the mom. So is there somebody like that on your set, or is that you? Do you wear that hat?
You know, I used to wear that hat. And my third movie, somebody said, you know, you need to, because I was wearing all the hats, camera, everything. I was filming and directing. And so somebody suggested about just, you know, just directing and producing. And so, you know, I was able to surround myself with people that know more than me, and I was able to do that. But my special person was my ADs. I had two good ADs, Michael and Mary, and they really shielded me so I could focus in on other things. But some of it I would know of that's happening, and it wouldn't be until we get off set or whatever, then I found out what else was going on.
Yeah. Yeah, I had one of those. Search those things, and I find out after, and I'm like, "Why didn't he tell me?"
Yeah, and there was other,
but
that without them, and I want to piggyback on something you said earlier.
Okay.
Yeah, most definitely. Not only our spirituality that we have is getting us through, but also sometimes, like you said, people have to get some help. You know, if it's a doctor, help, or medicine, whatever helps you to be able to function through situations.
Yes.
That's important. And so I want to make that like it wasn't important, but.
I totally agree. I take medicine and go to. I had a therapy appointment today. So. I'm trying to think. You know, so you are heading to Imaginarium. Do you have a project there, or are you a spot? I don't mean to say just a spotlighted guest, because spotlighted guest is kind of like guest of honor, imaginator, and spotlighted guest. You know, you're in the hierarchy. You're not just a panelist. I'm just a panelist. You know.
Well, what I look forward to in a lot of filmmakers are not able to do is I have a booth. So I'm able to meet so many attendees, but also sell my DVDs and my comic books and toys and all of that.
Yes.
I enjoy that. So yeah, that's part of it too, because that's when you meet people and then they seen you, you know, for the last 3 years, you know, it's something about that. It's building that rapport or that following.
Right.
I really enjoy that.
Well, I'm going to show off something. It's my birthday on not January, but June 8th. And this is, I don't know if anybody recognizes what it is, but it's called an Algerian love knot. And it's what Vesper Lynn, the Bond woman, wore in Casino Royale.
Okay.
So anybody close to Louisville wants to come to my birthday party, it's a James Bond themed birthday party. My backdrop is going to be hanging up. You can take your picture with it. So, but that's totally off the subject, but that was just me sharing,
yeah, you got I'm looking forward to the new James Bond movie.
I am too.
Craig, he's one of he's up around the top list of
no, don't freeze.
I'm still here. Are you there? Can you hear me? I think we lost you.
Yeah, we can hear you. She froze. She's back now.
It froze up, and sometimes I have to take the internet is really bad here, but it's better on here because this is a new computer, and it wouldn't even hold anything. So the fact that it only did that once, I'm like really grateful.
But yeah, I didn't put my film in the film festival because it's been in there. People can come to the booth. I'll probably have it showing on something, but right now we've been working on our the rest of it because we've done an animated pilot, Submerge, the Craig Conquest, and that's been showing and got small distribution at the drive-ins, showing it.
Congratulations!
Well, thank you. So hey, it's the little engine that could. That's what I call it.
Yeah, that's what I call Letters to Daniel. It's the little movie that could.
Yeah.
I totally relate to you. Totally relate. Okay, so I'm going to wrap this up before I bring John back. I'm going to ask you some fun questions.
Okay.
If your life were a movie, what would the title be?
Life is not a race, but a marathon.
And if you could cast anybody to play you in this movie, who would it be?
The guy from, I cannot think of his name, but he's in the Internals, Marvel's Internals right now. And Internals. Yeah. Eternals. And also he's in a Atlanta TV show, but I can't remember what his name is, but yeah.
Okay. And if you could meet any of your heroes, who would it be and why?
It would be Sylvester Stallone. His movies no doubt inspire people from all over the world. And as a kid, I was able to, I got in with Rocky. Those movies inspired me to not give up, to really keep going. And I love those themes of those movies, going through things and come out stronger on the other side. And so some of those things are woven into the scripts that I write, for my characters, going through those different things in life. So that would be the person that, if I could talk to anybody, that would be him.
Okay. And finally, the last question I have on the night, what would you say to filmmakers or writers who are struggling, not just with their mental health, but trying to break into the business, so to speak? What advice do you have for them? Or words of wisdom do you have for them?
Well, most definitely, don't give up. Surround yourself with people that know more than you. And remember, again, that it's not a race, it's a marathon. So just keep at it. Everything's going to work out, and find out what's successful to you, not to somebody else. I'm successful at what I've done, even though I'm not in Hollywood or anything like that. I'm successful at what things I've done. And nobody
Right. Right. Yeah. I always like to say, punch up, punch up, don't punch down.
Yeah.
And the last couple of months have just been a whirlwind, like a gateway opening, and into all what I've always dreamed of doing. And I'm like, if someone like me and someone like you, I always looked at, I reset the way I look at success. So from the first ebook that I got published, I said, okay, I'm going to celebrate it. And I've celebrated and I've celebrated. And now it's just crazy. It's just.
Yeah.
So, and I can see that coming for you too, because you've just built something here and very special. So that's my last question. And I want to say congratulations. I can't wait to see you at Imaginarium. And please submit something to AOF. So I'll see you there too.
All right, I will.
That was going to be my that was my first question. I have two questions. One is, are you going to submit to AOF, and are you going to go to Vegas?
I'm going to submit. I will have to see about going. But
Amy and I will both be there.
All right. Yeah, we'll have to see how things going. I'm testing the waters right now, with everything that's going on, especially with COVID and things like that.
Right.
But, yeah, most definitely I want to get out there because, she's like a superstar there. And I see her on like,
the AOF is ready for the Submerge universe.
Yes, I think they would very much like it.
Yeah, my other question was where can people find out more information about your work? What's the best way to kind of check you out and see your stuff?
Well, there's 5 films, so they can go to my website, DV Entertainment Pictures with an S .com, and also you can go to Amazon Prime. Submerge Echo 51 is on there, and also it's on Roku, so you can look it up on Roku. It's on a few channels on there, and so soon we'll have the animated pilot out, and I'm about to put all 6 movies on a Blu-ray, so, and with all the behind the scenes, so be looking out for that. But follow us out on there, and also Facebook at Submerge Universe, and Instagram at Submerge Universe, and LinkedIn, DV Entertainment Pictures, me.
Right on.
Okay.
All right.
So we're gonna play Old King Cole.
Yeah, we're gonna play Old King Cole going out, and who's up next week? Do we know yet?
Possibly Bob Sands, and he's a very well-known scriptwriter and script doctor.
There you go. All right, everyone, thanks for tuning in to Recovery Unplugged Live, featuring Demetrius Witherspoon and the Submerge Universe. Thanks for coming on, man.
Yeah, no problem.
Amy, we will see you next Monday.
Yes.
Lord willing and the creek don't rise.
God willing and the creek don't rise.
Same thing. Good night, everybody. Here's Old King Cole.
I came from the mud. There's dirt on my hands. Strong like a tree. There's roots where I stand. Oh, I've been running from the law. catch me howling at the moon. Trying to catch me howling at the moon. Trying to catch me howling at the moon. Trying to catch me howling at the moon.
My life was upside down and shaking all around. There seemed no end inside. I thought I was losing. I remember what you say. You've got a place for me. Protection from the storm. It's you I'm choosing. You've got a love so pure. It pulls me in for sure. It's all consuming. Your gentle lovingness washes away my mess. It proves you truly love the real me. Behold the beauty of the Lord. Oh, it washes me whiter than snow. Oh, this I know for sure. Your love, it makes me pure. Come wash over me and make me clean. Behold the beauty of the Lord. When I wanna run away, you gently reach for me. You set me up so high, I have no worries. You did not hide your face, did not turn me away. Of you, Lord, I will sing and tell